regular board meeting will now come to order at 7:02 p.m. on April 8th, 2014. If everybody will please rise and I'll lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Mayor Linda Soto.
Present.
Trustee Darrenowski absent. Trustees Kreese.
Here.
Duberstein. Here. Barrett is absent. Daly's absent. And Trustee Walkington.
Here.
Okay, we do just barely have quorum, but we do have it. If we could have a motion for approval of tonight's agenda.
So.
Second.
Roll call.
Trustees Kreese.
Aye.
Duberstein. And Walkington.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Okay, at this time we are opening for the public hearing on the proposed appropriation ordinance for May 1st, 2014 through April 30th, 2015. It has been posted and made available. Is there any discussion from the board at this time? Is there any public comments? Okay, can I have a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we will now go into our regular board meeting at this time. Are there any public comments for the village board on other business? Going, gone? We'll move on to omnibus vote agenda. Do I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Trustees Kreese.
Aye.
Duberstein. And Walkington.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Okay, moving on to reports and communications. Start with our village engineer, Greg Ruin.
Thanks, Mayor. Just a couple of things tonight. General stormwater, we're going to be preparing the village's MS4 report, which is due to the IEPA in the next month or two. That's an IEPA requirement, and there's basically no way around that particular item. The Cranberry Lake resurfacing project, we are in line for a grant for that project. There's a general informational meeting April 15th, which I'm going to be attending, and we'll hopefully gain more specifics concerning the grant and the schedule for that project at that time. Generally speaking, I'd say the Misty Hill subdivision has held up well. That's the project we did last year.
Yes.
And we're going to use that as the model for how we handle the design for Cranberry Lake. Washington Street improvements, according to the Lake County website, the phase 1 is 22% complete. I know Washington Street is actually closed right now for east-west traffic. That's supposed to be a 3-month closure, so basically from April 1st, it should be open by the 4th of July. And then finally, we're going to get Deemer plumbing out for a List Drive storm sewer settlement issue. That's something Jeff and I looked at in the fall, and it affects approximately 5 lots along List Drive from Buck to Catherine. We'll be looking into that in the next couple months.
Thank you. Attorney Jim Rack.
Thank you, Mayor. It's been really relatively brief time since we last met. I didn't say a lot, but did want to mention that the auditors have requested that the village adopt a credit card security policy, and Kelly Hensley started a draft on that. We reviewed it. We'll be continuing to work on that proposed policy, and at an upcoming meeting we'll be bringing it forward for board action.
Okay, thank you. Public Works Superintendent Jeff Gately.
Oh, thank you, Mayor. I don't know if everybody is aware, most are, we had a lift station incident last week over at the Cranberry Lake lift station. John Rucker had come to do his routine inspection and noticed that we had sewerage that was pumping from the main well pit into the other one that was filling it, so we had a leak. At first we thought it was just an actual joint. What we did discover though is that there were 2 holes in the side of the pipe, just on the east end of where the check valve is. So within 2 hours, we were able to isolate it. We had Deemer come out to make an emergency repair to replace the actual valve that ended up being bad. It was the actual valve itself. And what was happening with the design of the valve that they put in there, when the valve gate would open, it was hitting the top of the pipe. And after all these years, it just finally wore through and it was shooting sewage out the side of either side of the pipe. The new design that was installed will alleviate that problem. It will not happen. Everything is contained. The issue is that was there only one of those type of check valves. There were 2 of them right next to each other. So I went ahead and made the call and had that other one replaced as well, figuring the same thing is going to happen. And I do have a picture that I'll show you guys afterwards so I can explain. It's a good thing we did because this one would probably go within the next month or so. So that was just one of those unforeseen items that you would never know would have happened until it happens. And of course, another unforeseen expenditure, but that's about what works. We're used to that.
But the monies were there because we do
Yes.
expect,
We do expect
the
it.
unforeseen to.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. And I've been assured that the valves are in there now. None of us will ever have to worry about that again. We'll be long gone. Just about, yeah. So yeah, that was ended up being about a 3-day repair. So everything's back to normal. There was no sewerage leaking anywhere. Nobody was affected. It was all contained right there on site. So it worked out.
Yeah, I was very pleased at how quickly it was caught, and we really jumped on it right away.
No,
So it could have
everything
been a
worked
lot
out
worse.
really good. And it looks like spring is sprung. So we're preparing to get ready for the spring season. Equipment's ready to go.
Well, Jeff made an interesting comment the other day, which is true. How many times had you mowed the grass already by this time last year?
Probably about 4, maybe 5.
What a difference, huh?
Yeah, what a difference a year makes.
Good.
And then just a reminder, just to put out there, April 26th, our electronics recycling and our textile recycling will be happening next door at the Village Hall, as well as the village-wide cleanup from 9 to 1. So we've got everything set for that. And that's all I have to report now. Thank you.
Treasurer?
Just a couple of items. First of all, we've completed the upgrade of 3 office computers and 1 public works building computer over there. We had the 4 computers that we had were on the operating systems of Windows XP, who now Microsoft will no longer be supporting Windows XP. It's about 12 years old, if you could believe it, the whole program. So they're focusing all their money and time into keeping safe Windows 7, Windows 8, and future. So we have those upgrades completed now. The tax levy rates and extension for tax year 2013 have been received. I reviewed all the county's calculations to make sure they always have us review. And this year, the village passed a resolution back in December. We always go over to try to capture everything tax money that we can. That resolution was levied at $525,000. This year, the village will only be allowed to collect $454,000 roughly. So it's a shortfall of about $70,000. I did speak with Trustee Daly about this last week when we were working, fine-tuning the budget, and we knew that this is a possibility. It's going to happen like this, so probably a couple more years before we start seeing an uptick in the economy and everything with the rates of the homes going up. But we are fine. I reflected all those figures within the estimated revenue in the budget. And so those are all updated on later items to be adjusted, approved on later. Being April, this is the last month of our fiscal year. asked Jeff to follow up with a few vendors to make sure we get all the last remaining invoices in, trying to tweak the end of the year figures. I've already started working on getting stuff ready for the audit, which will be, the auditors will be in-house, full force, starting Monday, June 30th. So that's right around the corner. And then one last note, I usually do a yearly meeting with our First Midwest Bank rep, Nadine, and she'll be in our office here this Thursday. We just go through our accounts and see whatever products they have to offer, see if any other opportunities for us. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Village Clerk Kathy Metzler.
Roseanne and I have both been working on the business license renewals. I've had a few Freedom of Information requests this month for the last 2 weeks, and just doing my everyday work.
Okay, we'll move on to the mayor's report. We lost a former longtime resident who served as a trustee and former police commissioner, and his wife also served, I believe, as clerk perhaps for a while, and as police matron. So we're going back really in some history here with Hainesville, and that's a gentleman by the name of George Schlung. And he raised his children, he and Carol, in one of the homes that used to stand where the Walgreens strip mall is. And when that property was acquired, he moved up to Antioch. So we lost him the end of last week to prostate cancer. And his wake was at Strength Sunday. And of course, we had the Hainesville flag over there for the wake. And then there was visitation and a service held at Shepherd of the Lakes yesterday morning, which I attended, and was very glad I was able to be there and talk with his family and a lot of the people throughout Lake County that knew him very well. He was very loved by many people, his family and many friends. And they had quite a display of pictures. A lot of those pictures, of course, were in Hainesville. And there's one picture where he's wearing a t-shirt that says Trustee Schlung. And I had a nice conversation with one of his daughters. They have albums full of pictures from Hainesville. And so I asked her when things settled down if she would please bring it up here, and could we look at getting some of those pictures reproduced and saved digitally, so we have those as part of our archives. So she was very thrilled to hear that. She was excited and know that her dad and mom would like that. So George will be missed in Lake County and in Hainesville. And as our attorney said, we just had a meeting a short while ago, so I wish I could say I've accomplished more. But since we last met, I have been attending a lot of meetings, more meetings that are going on, of course, regarding road improvements in the area, you know, the Route 53, 120, Lake County DOT. There's the annual Council of Mayors meeting is tomorrow. So a lot of meetings I'm attending. And therefore, I haven't really gotten back on track. I've just started to reach out again to the Tall Oak residents that missed the deadline. There are some that are said they will meet, but we haven't set a time. And then we have a couple of homeowners that are still off the grid. So if we don't make contact, they will be sent a final notice and we will proceed regardless, as we clearly have that authority to do so. Also, I mentioned at the last meeting that we had 63 letters go out to single-family homeowners regarding holiday lights. And the letter was very effective. The majority is down. There is a couple still down, and those will be dealt with shortly. And other items have become more obvious as the weather is breaking. The snow is long gone. The water's gone, and we have people that are still storing garbage cans in front of the garage doors and in odd places. We also have fences that are falling down in disrepair. So we will be having letters go out to those people as well. There's a couple of fences that I think due to the change in the building department, there was some miscommunication, so we're going to give them the benefit of the doubt, but get those rectified. So please, if you're out there in YouTube land and you're listening, you'll be getting a letter. We ask that you follow up, or an officer may be appearing with a citation. That's all I have at this time. Let's move on to our standing committees. Trustee Daly is now present. He had some issues and fortunately a death of a friend of their family. Public Works, Trustee Walkington.
Not too much going on, it's finally getting nice, we got notice of spring and the work that we're gonna get done with Jeff, and we have a public works meeting tomorrow night at 6:30. Anybody can attend.
Okay. You're serving goodies, Gary? You baking?
I'd like to take that one. Sometimes we have, someone from the,
Terry bakes. Okay.
Terry bakes.
Yeah, that's right, Terry
Yes, he
bakes.
does.
Okay.
Sometimes he makes pizza.
Good to know.
Does a good job.
He's a good cook.
Public Safety, Trustee Priest.
Thanks, Mayor. The only thing I have is last April 2nd, I decided to attend the Lake County EMA meeting over in Winchester. And just because I was kind of curious about the Fiashi software that they had, well, that was the meeting before, which I couldn't make. But it was really pretty informative in this meeting. One of the things that was brought up, okay, was one of the standing committees, which was the Red Cross. They asked that if anybody's updating their EOPs, to make sure that they do include them in their shelters, you know, whether it be a school or everything else like that. And I did I refer to school shelters, if they lose power and they run generators. They said it's more of, it might not just, you know, if you don't lose power, you need someplace for somebody to go. Say, you know, like if they have basically vacate your area and stuff like that, they need to have an update of all our shelters that we can use within the village itself.
The schools do, or Lake County?
No. Red Cross.
Oh, Red Cross.
The Red Cross would
Okay.
like them updated.
I see.
Okay, on what we have as far as our facilities, as far as shelters.
Okay.
That's all.
Gotcha.
Okay, I'm sorry, I probably
Okay.
explained myself very well at that, okay? Another thing is they had a demonstration of the strategic national stockpile, okay, from, there was actually a presenter from the Lake County Health Department, okay? It was very interesting and very informative of how everything's going, how it works, how medicines or whatever is needed, if there is any public health epidemic that arises. And they said within, they can have anything that they need within 48 hours to a location. And what they do is they use, there's 123 points of distribution within the county, okay? And it's mostly the public places that they've been using. So it was kind of interesting on that, and I just saw how they worked it, how they were bringing everything in. It's really well organized and really well put together. And like I said, I just wanted to make sure, you know, I'm just checking to make sure how prepared are we, you know, with this village. So that's all I have. And public safety meeting 2 weeks from today, which is going to be the 22nd, I think. Yeah.
Okay, excellent.
So.
Thank you. Wetlands and open spaces and Great H Club, Trustee Duberstein.
Well, as Jeff mentioned, there is a cleanup on April 26th, it's Saturday, from 9 to 1. And anybody who's interested in helping needs to be at the corner of Tall Oak Drive and Hainesville Road at 9 o'clock with clothes that would take some wetness and dirt, and just don't come in your fancy digs.
Waterproof shoes.
And waterproof shoes for sure. So we're hoping that we will get participation from the National Honor Societies. I have not heard back from them. And we will have a great time.
And that will be, reminders on that are in the newsletter again that's going out. It's on the website. And I did forward you an email this afternoon.
Yes, I saw.
You did, okay. So hopefully we'll get something from the Coquille Athletics too.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay, we do not have Trustee Darrenowski or Trustee Barrett here tonight. Nothing else really has taken place in the last week on special events, so no update there. So with that, we'll move on to business. First item up is a motion to approve the estimate of revenue, May 1st, 2014 through April 30th, 2015.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Trustees Crease,
Aye.
Duberstein,
Aye.
and Walkington.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Okay, next item up is a motion to approve the appropriation ordinance, May 1st, 2014 through April 30th, 2015.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Trustees Crease,
Aye.
Duberstein,
Aye.
and Walkington.
Aye.
Motion carried. Ordinance number 1404-189.
Okay, the last item up is a motion to approve the budget, May 1st, 2014 through April 30th, 2015.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Trustees Crease,
Aye.
Duberstein,
Aye.
and Walkington.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Motion for adjournment.
So moved. Second.
All in favor? Aye. Meeting adjourned, 7:25.
Go ahead, Mark.
I know.
Yeah.
I know, and 9 pounds, 3 ounces. Where was she? 8 pounds, 3 ounces. I know. I said, where was she keeping that? I said, yeah, 9 pounds, 3 ounces. 8 pounds, 20 and a half inches long. Yeah. Oh, is she? Okay. Did he?
I think pretty close to it if it isn't.
Oh, well,